The new Star Wars was actually really good.
No, it wasn't!
Number 10. Every underdog sports film. The majority of films from the sports genre have always been plagued by a somewhat familiar plot. An underdog athlete or a team gets thrown into a competition that they have to win in order to save the whatever.
This time, if he wins, you get your dad to not close our youth center. What?
Who doesn't love an underdog story? Unfortunately, the genre has become so saturated that the tropes that are commonplace in these films have become somewhat cliche.
From just a beginner to a pro, you need a montage.
South Park took a direct aim at these films with their Season 6 episode, Aspen. Stan is portrayed as the hero, but doesn't want any part of it. Despite being roped into a competition, the show does a fantastic job of mocking these films.
Stan, you can't let that Tad guy get to you. Screw him, dude. Dude, he's got Heather. You don't even know Heather!
Number 9. The Passion of the Christ. Any movie about the struggle of a major religious icon was bound to bring controversy. Sidestepping the entire real-world drama of this film, South Park found a hilarious way to both drive home the film's message whilst still roasting it.
I think if more people saw The Passion, they'd have faith in Jesus.
Yeah, it really guilt trips you into believing.
Horribly unimpressed by the film, Stan and Kenny decide that, just like basketball, they want their money back for such a terrible film.
This is just like when we got our money back for basketball.
Between Stan's commentary on the excessiveness of the movie and Kyle's loss of faith, this episode goes to untold lengths to point out how sometimes things are better left on the page than on the screen, along with the creator's thoughts on Mel Gibson.
Kapla! Kapla! And good evening, friends!
Number 8. Inception.
Good, you're here. What's the sitch?
Christopher Nolan's Inception takes on the idea of being able to go into someone else's dreams. Although the movie was a success, many came away confused by the layered plot, covered in complex, over-the-top explanations.
Inception's not about being specific. When we get inside his mind, we're gonna have to work with what we find.
In Season 14, South Park tore the movie to shreds by having Sharon listen to the ridiculous logic the movie follows, only to call out how a convoluted plot does not make something cool.
Going to multiple dream levels sounds like a really stupid idea.
You just don't get it because you're not smart enough.
Throw in purposely bad background music and a hoarding subplot, and you're left with comedic gold.
Excuse me, but I am a sheep herder. It's pronounced hoarder, and yes, you are.
Number 7. The Day After Tomorrow.
We didn't listen! We didn't listen!
There's nothing wrong with making a summer blockbuster that tries to drive home an important message. The Day After Tomorrow tries to comment on climate change, but takes some big liberties with the science.
This is very urgent, sir. Our climate is changing violently, and it's going to happen over the next 6 to 8 weeks.
I thought you said this wouldn't happen for another 100 years or so.
I was wrong.
Long before they'd mock climate change through Al Gore and Man Bear Pig, South Park went after this movie. In 2 days before The Day After Tomorrow, global warming is blamed for a recent flood causing citizens to panic. The episode does a great job of mocking the source material by having Randy and others wear parkas in the summer to deal with the upcoming ice age, heavily mentioned in the original. Furthermore, they hammer home the ridiculous idea that all things climate change will happen within a matter of days.
Steven, we've got to keep moving. We're in deep hypothermia, all of us.
Number 6. Rob Schneider movies.
Rob Schneider is a Wall Street executive with everything going for him. Only problem is, he's about to become a carrot.
I'm a carrot.
Like Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider left his role on Saturday Night Live to pursue film projects. Although some may have found both Schneider and Sandler's brand of film comedy entertaining, the folks over at South Park were not overly impressed. During one episode, the showruns mocked previews of some of Schneider's new movies that feature him starring as a carrot and as a stapler.
And he's about to find out that being a stapler is harder than it looks. Rob Schneider is the stapler, rated PG-13.
Weak.
This was during a time in his career where he was left playing exaggerated fish-out-of-water characters.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Sandler's similar-styled film, Jack and Jill, was also shredded apart in a later South Park episode. Number 5. The Core. In Season 9, Die Hippie Die, we find Cartman doing his best to rid the town of hippies.
Goddamn hippie!
Whoa, dude!
Get out of here!
Not cool! What's up?
As more and more freeloaders appear, his disdain for them rages on, all while everyone else turns a blind eye.
What are you doing? You have to listen to me! You can't sweep this problem under the rug! The town is in serious danger!
When the town is overrun with these people, we watch South Park take a page directly from 2003's The Core, an action-packed story about a team of scientists drilling to the Earth's core to save humanity. Instead of the Earth, Cartman needs to drill through a crowd of hippies to stop their music festival.
I've designed a vehicle that can bore its way through even the densest hippie crowd. The pilots inside would be safe from the pot smoke and the crappy music outside.
Everything from the planning to the assembly of the team and even the execution of the drill mocks the ridiculousness of the film in humorous fashion. Number 4. The Perfect Storm. George Clooney is a huge fan of South Park. He's famously made hundreds of copies of the show's original The Spirit of Christmas short film and has even voiced characters in both the show and the feature-length film.
Son, I have some bad news. We accidentally replaced your heart with a baked potato. You have about 3 seconds to live.
But as smug clouds, made from people who believe they're better than everyone else, come together in South Park, it's a perfect storm.
The perfect storm of self-satisfaction.
Mocking both the film of the same name and Clooney's infamous Oscar speech. It's far less on the nose than many of our other entries, but still worth mentioning.
Thing about winning an Academy Award, it always be, we are a little bit out of touch in Hollywood rights when it wasn't really popular.
Number 3. Every reboot and revival.
Remember Addicts? Remember Ghostbusters?
Let's face it, today it seems unless you're part of an already existing franchise, many film projects have spawned out of the reboot/remake/revival trend. The problem is that often many of these reboots are terrible and sometimes taint the original.
Maybe some people enjoy nostalgia and going back to what feels comfortable.
South Park took clear aim at the entire reboot culture with the introduction of member berries.
The guys at work told me about them. Been taking them about 6 months now. I'm telling you, they really take the edge off.
These little grape-like creatures relentlessly remind everyone of great things from the past, while simultaneously mocking the lack of original ideas in film and television. Number 2. Braveheart.
Whoa! You won't get away with this, you bastard!
In the first season of South Park, the writers wanted an excuse to make fun of Braveheart. So, how did they do it? In this episode, Starv and Marvin, they had both the townspeople and a group of genetically modified turkeys go to battle. The entire sequence is a direct rip on the famous battlefield scene from Braveheart.
These fudged up turkeys from the crustaceous era can take our lives, but they can never take our freedom!
We're treated not only to a war-painted chef, but a turkey dolled up much like the film's William Wallace. With even the turkey leader giving an inspirational speech, the entire sequence is both a great mockery of the source material and is a recipe for one fantastic laugh. Number 1. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. When the 4th Indiana Jones movie was released, there was a lot of criticism around much of the plot.
I want to know. Tell me. I'm ready. I want to know.
Many fans who had been waiting years for the return of the whip-cracking hero found themselves disappointed. One such person was South Park co-creator Matt Stone. While discussing the film's assault on the iconic franchise during a writers' meeting, Trey Parker began piecing together an episode that would shred the movie to bits.
I can't watch! Let's get out of here, Kyle!
Never in the entire lifetime of this show has a film received as much angst as it did in Season 12's The China Problem.
No, what are you gonna do to him?
We can only imagine what they thought of the most recent film.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.